hidden deep inside a dark elevated crevice beneath abandoned wooden beams. Misha the masked palm civet struggled painfully through labor while cold winds whispered through the shadows of the night. Breathing heavily against the cold stone, exhausted Misha gave birth to her first tiny hairless baby inside the quiet hidden nest. The blind newborn squirmed weakly beside Misha while soft cries echoed gently through the dark shelter high above the ground. Moments later, a second fragile baby entered the world and instinctively crawled toward the warmth and milk of their loving mother. Misha carefully curled her warm body protectively around the helpless newborns while the tiny babies squeaked loudly beneath her striped fur. The exhausted mother rested her head against the cold stone floor while dangerous shadows slowly moved around the silent nest hidden in darkness. The deadly cobra silently slithered closer toward the vulnerable family while flicking its tongue through the air searching for the scent of newborn life. Misha's sensitive ears twitched instantly at the faint hiss echoing through the dark crevice, and her alert eyes opened wide in alarm. The protective mother spotted the giant cobra approaching the helpless babies and immediately stepped forward with a deep threatening growl. The hooded snake rose menacingly and lunged violently toward the nest, but fearless Misha dodged the deadly strike with breathtaking agility. Exploding into a savage counterattack, Misha clamped powerful jaws directly onto the cobra's neck and shook the serpent violently through the air. The defeated snake crashed helplessly out of the elevated nest while Misha immediately came back to inspect her terrified newborns. Panting heavily after the brutal battle, Misha gently comforted the frightened babies beneath the safety of her warm striped body. Time slowly passed, and the once fragile newborns gradually developed thick striped fur patterns matching the beautiful markings of their mother. One quiet morning, the curious babies finally opened their eyes for the first time and stared innocently toward loving Misha. The energetic young civets tumbled and wrestled playfully around the nest while Misha watched proudly with endless maternal devotion. Then another deadly predator appeared when a giant owl silently swooped toward the unaware family hidden among the wooden beams. Hearing the terrifying rush of air above her, Misha instantly launched explosively upward and intercepted the enormous bird in mid-flight. Sharp claws slashed violently through the air while feathers exploded around furious Misha during the brutal aerial battle. The giant owl shrieked in panic and retreated desperately into the darkness while victorious Misha landed gracefully back near her trembling babies. Soft calming purrs echoed through the nest as Misha comforted the frightened young beneath the quiet shadows of the old structure. As the young civets grew stronger, Misha carefully guided them outside the nest and taught them how to search for food within the abandoned urban wilderness. The family discovered clusters of sweet ripe fruits while the playful babies eagerly copied every movement of their experienced mother. Misha demonstrated perfect hunting technique by pouncing skillfully onto crawling insects while the clumsy young cubs attempted to imitate her attacks. Together the curious family explored narrow wooden beams and cracked rooftops hidden high above the sleeping city below. But danger returned suddenly when dense bushes rustled violently and a gigantic monitor lizard emerged staring directly toward Misha and her offspring. The hungry predator charged aggressively toward the babies, forcing Misha to bark loudly and order her frightened young to scatter immediately. The monstrous lizard snapped massive jaws toward Misha while she sprinted fearlessly across narrow rooftops with the relentless predator close behind. Misha leapt gracefully over deep gaps between buildings while the giant reptile continued the deadly chase without hesitation. The furious lizard tore wooden beams apart with powerful claws while Misha raced desperately along dangerously narrow roof edges high above the ground. Suddenly Misha stopped, spun around fearlessly, and blocked the narrow rooftop path directly against the advancing monster. The enraged lizard lunged forward violently, but Misha grappled aggressively with the heavy reptile and sank sharp teeth deeply into its thick-scaled neck. The massive tail whipped brutally against Misha's body while cracked roof tiles shattered and cascaded downward during the savage rooftop battle. Ignoring the painful strikes completely, Misha unleashed a relentless barrage of scratches and forced the exhausted predator backward across the steep roof. Finally, the defeated monitor lizard slipped helplessly from the rooftop and disappeared below while victorious Misha stood proudly against the howling wind. The relieved babies rushed back toward their fearless mother while Misha lovingly groomed the frightened young after surviving the brutal fight. Years passed across the sprawling urban wilderness, and the once tiny newborns transformed into powerful fully grown civets proudly standing beside legendary Misha. Adult Misha walked confidently along high concrete ledges while strong muscles rippled beneath her magnificent striped coat glowing beneath golden sunset light. The majestic Civet climbed effortlessly toward the highest rooftop peak and stood proudly like a fearless ruler surveying the endless territory below. Powerful winds swept through Misha's thick fur while sharp intelligent eyes scanned every hidden corner of the vast urban jungle she had conquered. Then a strange white paper fluttered wildly through the evening air and drifted directly toward the alert predator standing high above the city. Tracking the fast-moving object perfectly, Misha crouched low before launching spectacularly into the air with explosive athletic power. With flawless precision, Misha snapped powerful jaws around the floating paper and landed gracefully upon the steep rooftop edge without losing balance. From a fragile blind newborn hidden within a dark crevice to the fearless ruler of the urban wilderness, Misha's journey became proof that courage, sacrifice, and unstoppable maternal instinct can overcome every impossible danger in the wild.